Screen sharing is paused. Click on the selected application to resume sharing. Screen sharing has resumed.
Yes, I'm here. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for attending this webinar. Well, as mentioned by Roberto, my name is Fernando Gumma. I'm a solutions consultant. I'm located in Intalio, EMEA. And in case you want my referrals or my mail, you have on the right and on the bottom you have my mail. For after this webinar, you can contact me or try to put in clear some questions that maybe I'm not able to do it during this webinar. Well, this webinar has as a scope to introduce you to our starter kit pack. So it's intended to help you to start your project or your proof of concept pilot on the right foot. So the main objectives are to get you up to speed to start using Intalio BPMS platform and to introduce you to our professional services and in particular our starter kit pack. So we are going to go around some concept of workflow automation, SOA, and system integration capabilities of the platform, and of course to get your feedback and comments. So feel free to contact me as the mentioned mail as showed you before. Well, the agenda is organized in 4 steps. So I'm going to provide you a company overview, then an introduction to the starter kit pack, and after that a very short introduction to the Intalio BPMS. After that I will show you some live demo of the capabilities of workflow automation and integration of Intalio BPMS. Well, as a company overview, so Intalio is a leading enterprise software provider that was founded in 1999 and is headquartered in Palo Alto. We can count with more than 1,200 customers in 55 countries worldwide, and we have a net of 80 more partners worldwide. Our technologies embrace open source standards, and we have actively contributed to establish industry standards both in business process management and application service. Our customers vary in a wide range of sectors and industries. Trusted partner empowering a few of the largest companies in the world has Deutsche Bank, Tina, Mitsubishi, Vodafone, for instance. So we are fully committed to the success of our customers and partners through our continuous research and development, and we count with a 3-tier partner forum deployed worldwide. So our partners obtain from Intalio sales, marketing, and technical benefits for the development of local initiatives. Well, Intalio started introduction is an initiative that is oriented to answer the question how to go about using Intalio to implement a project end-to-end. So we are not trying to convince you to adopt the BPM. We intend to provide professional services that permits you to start your project on the right foot. So in order to adopt this pack, you need to be already to use Intalio for process automation and to have already identified a project. So our methodology will focus on what you will need or gather to achieve the project objective. So we'll follow you up in project requirements gathering and how to implement these requirements in your project. In other words, to adopt a best practice, the method to execute each step. So our implement cycle is composed by 5 steps: the process discovery, the prototype, iterative implementation, testing, and deployment. In our starter kit, we propose to follow you up in just the three steps. In case you want later to be following the other two steps, obviously we can provide further consultancy to help you. So we can help you in process discovery. It means that we help you in process requirement gathering in the area of process maps, process flow rules, and process flow data. May be done in a form of a workshop or via review of existing documents, so the requirements gathered should be sufficient for development end-to-end prototype. This phase is supported remotely. The second phase is the prototype. So we can help you to develop a prototype based on a multi-layer process-driven modeling approach for the purpose of validating the end-to-end process flow and the critical data and rules that drives the flow. Also, for gathering more details for project implementation delivery, this phase is supported on site. We propose for this phase to adopt some screen programming techniques like pair programming with one of factors. So the scope of this technique is to transfer rapidly necessary knowledge for the next iterative development cycles. And then the third phase is the iterative implementation. So the scope is to build up the complete or partial process iteratively by implementing each scenario. So it's the level 3 workflow. So a complete detailed requirements for each scenario will gather, implemented, and tested. These requirements include the identification of full data, the user interface design, and the business rules and external integrations. So this third part of our starter kit will be followed by remote. So let's go more in detail what we offer in these three phases to follow up your project. So as prerequisites, the process to be automated must be identified, and you should provide the availability of the subject expert, so a person very well how the things are done. So the existence of a process document, so as a standard operating procedure, will help very much in this phase. So the objective is to gather preliminary requirements for the implementation of the process prototype. So what is delivered, what is released? So a process map, the key process data that drives the flow, and key business rules that drives the flow. So we are going to concentrate on the process flow instead of the user interface or the full data model. So that's why we can manage, or we can help you from remote. So here in this phase we may capture any high level of metric or KPI requirement, and we will not need to officially document the process map. So the prototype will be expressed or modeled in BPMN as a documentation itself. So this is the first. Here we're going to transfer the necessary knowledge to set up a project in the next future. So regarding the blueprint or the prototype, so as prerequisites is the previous phase. So we need the process map, the key process data, and the key business rule. And in this phase, that is on-site consulting, will build an end-to-end project for the purpose of the process flow validation, the detailed project scoping, and to define together the delivery planning and the project sizing. This will permit you to define exactly the team that you have to gather or to work on this, and you can evaluate and you can size the effort to be spent in this project. So this is what we mean about to start with the right foot. So these 2 sessions will permit you to size correctly the effort to be spent on the project. So the deliverables of this phase will be to a working prototype, so a running application like an executable process. And we help you to deliver a project delivery plan and a project sizing plan. The third phase, so the iterative implementation, so as a prerequisite, we need the detailed requirements for the scenarios to be implemented. So how the platform will be extended or implemented across your organization. So the objective is to process delivery iteratively. So how you can extend or scale your prototype in your organization. So the deliverables are the scenarios for the delivery implemented and tested. So we are going to recreate a situation, a scenario to understand which can be the most critical developments in your project. So this requirements in this phase is to have the full data model and the user interface, all the business rules, and to define all the integration points. So in cases, in this case, to have a full proof of concept, it's necessary to obtain also the third-party web services for the integration. Well, just to have the big picture of the topics that are supported by the starter kit, you have this matrix. So that is by items of the 3 phases, which is covered by every single phase. In case you need or to be up later in the next phases, obviously is part of our proposal. This is for the smaller starter kit pack. Well, after that, I would like to just introduce to Intalio BPMS in case you don't know or this is the first time you contact us or the first time you attend a webinar. So Intalio BPMS is an orchestration tool that has 2 main components. The designer that is dedicated to the process modeling or the implementation and deployment of the processes, and the other side, the server that is dedicated to the process execution. So both components are composed by different modules. Some of them are open source, part of our community edition. Others under a license available only with the enterprise edition. So from BPMS Designer, we have as models, so the BPM and modeler. So you will have a tool, a graphical tool to model your processes. Deployment manager, that one is our zero code vision that will permit you to deploy, to make executable your process in just 1 click. And process implementation tools for the configuration and runtime data manipulation. Furthermore, you have the database connector that permits to integrate Intalio to the most well-known database management systems, and a form editor that Intalio provides an Ajax, which is used to get creation and integration environment, allowing you to easily create rich internet applications. I'm going to show these functionalities from the designer later in a demo. As enterprise edition modules, so those that are in blue, the designer comes with a business activity monitoring module that provides a complete view of the whole business process deployed in production, and you are able to track and report KPIs defined and integrated in the model. So you have also the business rule engine is able to manage complex rules from a business-friendly decision table editor, and is absolutely easy to include in your models through a drag and drop feature. So to complete the list of this enterprise edition models, you can have also an LDRP model for the user management and authentication. From the BPMS server side, well, we have the BPL engine and the Tempo, that is our workflow engine. To take a look, so to investigate, to monitor these two engines, you can count with two web applications management. So these applications are the task list management that has a user-friendly interface dedicated to the end user, and a process console for process monitoring that enables dynamic validation checking, testing, and debugging. Enterprise edition components we have seen at the designer are also present in the server for the process execution. So are the models you can see in blue. But we have in addition an ESB connector, a powerful connector that is related to the Reliefray CMS connector, and a document management system connector that is permits you to use some external document repositories through an CMS interface, and these repositories can be SharePoint, Alfresco, Documentum, or Knowledge Tree, for instance. For what regards the application servers and databases, so we support a wide range of those. So we released or deliver some versions based on Tomcat, JBoss, and WebLogic, and from databases, Oracle SQL Server, MySQL, Postgres, and DB2. Well, so just to try to summarize why Intalio BPMS could be your best choice in a BPM orchestrator, because it's 100% enterprise ready. So it's easy to integrate and it is easy to adopt thanks to our code vision. Most of the technical aspects of your model can be implemented with drag and drop gesture, and it's a standard based. Intalio has adopted more than 15 different standards, and it is away oriented, so all processes are exposed automatically as web services. You can rely on an excellent performance, and regarding cost, well, you have a low cost of entry because you can start your project and testing from the community edition. Well, this is the introduction to our platform, to the Intalio BPMS, and this is a wide description, so I'll extend the description about what Intalio or how can integrate or can automatize your process. Intalio is able to integrate, as mentioned, with external repositories and external document management system and content management system like Liferay and Alfresco, for instance, can be also manage external authorization, user management and authorization for using LDIP and CIS, and all integrations with external systems like a CRM or an ERP can be done all by using SOAP or web services. It's the same strategy that uses Intalio to integrate the VIM and the BRI, so the rules and the KPIs and the reports. Well, let me switch now to
Screen sharing is paused.
let me switch.
Click on the selected application to resume sharing. Screen sharing has stopped.
Just a while, I'm going to switch to the designer, and that's what
Screen sharing has started.
I would like to show.
Screen sharing is paused. Click on the selected application to resume
Just a
sharing.
while, I'm going to
has resumed.
Okay, now you are seeing the whole interface. So just to show you, this is the designer, Intalio designer, is where you can model your process using BPMN. So you are able to define the logic using simple, just to define the flow, and also to define the participants of your process. And participants, it means that all the humans that will interact with a process, or all the external systems or systems that will interact with this. In Intalio, so in BPMN, the description, also every single participant is defined by a pool that is this elements that you can see in colored. And in this case, we are going to use three parts. We have in this case 3 participants. The first is on green, that is an employee. Then red is a manager, and on amber we have our web services, so as the integration with the external system. This is a use case that we can adopt, or we can help you build in our starter kit. And in this case, it's about our purchase request. So what we are going to, what we have modeled here is a logic like this. So a purchase, so the system, so Intalio, the process, receives a purchase request and then evaluates the authorization. It means that will be implemented some external rules to define whether the authorization required by a manager or the authorization is automatic. So will not require any kind of authorization. It's the case that we externalize our rules and are not included in our model. So this is a best practice that we suggest. That is the model, so the logics will does not change, but the rules change often. That's why everything is externalized. So in this case, let's continue to describing the logic. So in case an authorization is required, here the system will invoke an external system to retrieve the owner of this authorization. So we need to retrieve the department manager. So this is everything code. So the system creates a new authorization task. So this is assigned to a manager. It's in red. That's the reason it's in red. And after the decision of this manager, in case it's approved, the flow continue. And in case it's not approved, it's required to the employee to revise, to redo the purchase, to rebalance the purchase order. So till the manager takes a decision like rejected or approved, this will be a loop till the employee makes an acceptable proposal. After the decision of the manager, so it's approved or rejected, a notification, so the requester will be informed the outcome of the decision. It's important to mention that all these assignments, so this ownership, so all the definition of who will be the owner of every single task can be, Intalio provides 2 ways to approach. One is statical, like this. In the model, we have defined the role to be assigned. And the most important is you can define this dynamically during runtime. So you can define this from your process according to the rules that you implement in your process. Or just to complete the picture, you can see these circles, these blue circles that are related to the KPIs. So these are the key process indicators that in this case will permit to evaluate the performance of this approval. So we are going when the request, the authorization request was created, and when this authorization request is complete. This is important maybe for a high-level manager to understand the performance of all the people every time is dealing with a purchase request. This complete the big picture of the process. So let's go more in detail. For the first case, so I'm opening this pool that is dedicated to the employee, and this is Intalio. In this case, has we have created a form to send this purchase order. So Intalio, to do that, provides a what you see is what you get framework, that is Intalio Ajax. This is the framework that I'm talking about. So it's as you can see, you can modify these forms simply with a drag and drop. So I can take an element and I can move it on my canvas, and everything is added on the fly. So I can change, for instance, the label, and this is reflected immediately on my canvas. So this is what you see is what you get. That's what I mean with this, what you see is what you get. So all the properties of the elements you can see in the canvas can be modified through a properties editor. So it's not necessary to code, to compose, or to create a form. So Intalio provides also some widgets, as you can see here, that are pre-configured to accept and to manage some validation and to present icons for in the case these elements are mandatory. As you can see, this exclamation point indicates that it is mandatory, and this characteristic can be configured also here from the properties editor. So you simply add some those fields that are mandatory from this editor, and you can set also the validation, so which is requested. So you can set if it is necessary a mail, a number, or a letter, or whatever. You can use some more complex or sophisticated validations using regular expressions that can be added from here, and you can set most of the characteristics or attributes of every single field. This permits you to define a form like this. Let me switch.
Screen sharing is paused. Click on screen sharing has resumed. Screen sharing is paused. Screen sharing has stopped.
Let me share. The browser.
Screen sharing is paused. Click. Screen sharing has started.
Where we have here the task list of Intalio. This is the web application that is provided by Intalio by default that will permit you to interact with, to implement human interaction with Intalio. It means that you can open and you can manage tasks and start processes click from here. So this application, this task list is organized in 3 tabs, where the first task is all the activities that I have to complete, so my to-do list, notifications that all the information that I receive from the status of the process that are currently running, and the processes that are all processes that I can start from according to my log or to my role. In this case, I'm logged like examples Emily Williams, that is a manager. So this purchase order is assigned to the role employee. I'm going to log out and I'm to log in as an employee, that is Michael Smith. So in this case, I will see the same process, and I will start this form. As you can see, these forms, you can implement a lot of dynamic or asynchronous functionalities like IX calls. For instance, this list are retrieved dynamically from a database using some web services. So you can all the interactions, so you can define this, or you can create rich internet applications from this website, from this framework. So in this case, let's choose a notebook be acquired, and for instance, you can also add some calculations in your form that are applied using some coding in this case, or you can add it directly from the properties editor. I have completed my purchase order, so I started, I sent, and well, according to our model, this purchase order will be assigned to a manager. So let's log out and let's log in again as a Williams, that is a manager. And she, as you can see, this was assigned to a user that is explicitly assigned to Emily Williams. This is due because the rules that I'm going to show you later defines the user, so the manager, to be assigned according to the type of the purchase order. So if you were served, so it depends on the type of the good that will be purchased. So I opened this form that was created with Intalio Ajax, and as you can see, you can we can retrieve here all the information that was available before. This information, this data, is managed through the designer, through our mapper that will permit to transfer data from one step to another. So just to complete this use case, or let's say that this purchase order is not compliant according to this manager, so it's necessary to be revised. Why? Because maybe it's too expensive, the price of the units. So once this is completed, so a new task, the task was taken out from the Emily Williams list. So let's move again to the Mr. Smith task list, and we will find a to be revised order, where it's possible to find the review notes, so and who was the reviewer, and the possibility to refill or to reconfigure the order again. So let's say that again, we'll try to buy this notebook, but this is a cheaper unit. So let's send again, and all these interactions can be accomplished through the model that I have shown before, and using the Intalio Ajax framework. So how is complete this? Again, let's move to Emily Williams' task, and again she has a new task, and when we open, we can see who was the requester, the details of the new order and the previous order details. This will permit this manager to decide to compare the previous and the current order in order to take a decision. In this case, being cheaper, the order is authorized. This will complete all the tasks, the flow that we have already designed. Well, coming back to the
screen sharing is paused. Screen sharing has stopped.
I would like to show you more details on the designer side. So I'm coming back to
screen sharing has started.
Okay, so we have seen how in Intalio you can manage a process, a workflow automation in Intalio. And now I would like to show you how you can use or reuse business rules or externalized rules. So this implementation is accomplished in this desk that is related to our pool that is here on the web service. As you can see here, we have implemented a web service. So these rules not only can be an Intalio web service, can be or maybe on your internal ERP or CRM. That's the goal also of this Retrieve Department Manager. So summarizing this case, we are invoking an Intalio process that will implement the rules. In this case, we are invoking an external service that will have all data or all the responsibilities in, for instance, an ERP of the organization. Let's take a look about this process. So the process that is invoked in that case is this. So it's a very simple process that uses Intalio BRI engine. Intalio BRI engine is based on a well-known and very well developed project that is called Rules, and presents a user-friendly interface to define rules like this. So a decision table is organized by conditions and actions, where in conditions you can define all the input parameters to be provided, and this module will permit to create easily just defining the number of definitions, all the cases that can be according to these parameters and conditions. So defining this, you can provide as an output some actions that are data that are valued or are filled with some, like in this case, the authorization request. So this action or this output is related to tell the process whether a manual authorization is required or not. And the second one, for instance, is related to define which is the related department according to the good or the material to be acquired. This is very useful for complex decisions. So you can imagine if you can define, you need to define this using just simple if-then else construction. And furthermore, this model can provide you more sophisticated features like effective date or expiration date, and the silence that is about the priority to avoid or to define in case one or more conditions are or provides more than one single action or output. So this is, you can configure with this very complex rules that are implemented and simple through this table. So this is everything. This table is implemented. So it's an element that is created on Intalio. So it's a file that you can find, for instance, here. And simple, you have to drag and drop. So this is the way that is implemented. After that, you have the possibility to add it, mapping something like this. And that's all. You have already implemented a new rule here. Now I'm going to show you how Intalio manages data during a runtime. So Intalio provides a tool that is called Mapper that will permit you to manage and to map data in this way. So simple mapping from one element to another. So it's like an ETL tool where furthermore you have the possibility to add some operations in case you need to transform something like count, or this is just for sophisticated transformation. And you have also the possibility to use XSL transformations. This is just in case very complex data transformation. You have three strategies. Simple mapping, you have the possibility to implement some XPath code or to use XSL style sheets. As you can see, everything can be mapped through this tool, and that's why after this you can obtain also the output or the elements to be retrieved from this business rules. This mapping or this data manipulation can be implemented not only in this case with rules, but in all cases that you have here. For instance, forms. So data that is provided by forms are represented in the same way. It means that a non-technical people can, in the first instance, data from with Intalio. So it's not absolutely mandatory to be a technical skill to do mappings with Intalio. Well, in this case, furthermore, you have the possibility to use some gateways to define the flow, like you can see here. And this is simply implemented again through the mapper, like in this case. So you can establish some comparisons that will permit you to define the flow. To complete the visions, the whole vision, I would like to show you how heaps indicators are implemented in the model. As mentioned before, these elements are in the blue circles, and well, what is necessary is to define first of all the KPI. So which data we like to track. This is done through our VIM, where we defined from this interface the values or the fields that we'd like to trace. In this case, as you can see, we are going to track the department, manager, product, quantity, unit price, and authorization start, authorization complete, that will permit it to establish the performance. So the lead time from start to end. And when we define this, we need just these elements in our model, and then we can track the information in the same way we have done before. So all these icons, where we have this BIM icon, is the data related to our plots. So we can again map all data present in our process and map and track it. What happens with this information is stored in a database. So all this data, every time you map against this element, is stored in a database. And this module takes has the role to update or to insert according if it's a new track, or is you need to update because it's an existing track. So it's very easy. You have not to write SQL to store your information in your database. So again, non-technical people can accomplish the data storage during runtime. And to complete this vision, this overview of the platform, or what can we do for you in our starter kit, is just to show you that how is defined, or how you can define the ownership of a task. So Intalio provides, as you can see here on the mapper, some metadata, some attributes of to a task, and one of them is called user owner, and as you can see here, is connected to the manager name. So this is how you can define a dynamical assignment of your task. Again, this data is retrieved from an external system, like we do before, and with a simple map you can assign it to them. So again, it's technical activity. So our starter kit expects to teach you or to follow you up and to build processes like this, and to help you to move to the next level in complexity, and to prepare to do it side by side with you, in order to permit you to scale and to extend all the functionalities you expect from your project. Well, this is all I expected to present today, and just to conclude,
screen sharing has stopped.
I would like to show you some last slides.
Screen sharing is paused. Click on the selected application to start sharing.
Let me select again, because
screen sharing has started. Screen sharing has stopped.
To select the right element.
Screen sharing selected application to resume sharing.
I would like to show you this last slides that are related to the complete it. I think it's not
sharing has resumed.
Let me
screen sharing has stopped. Again. Screen sharing has started. Screen sharing is paused. Click on the selected application to resume sharing. Screen sharing has resumed.
Okay. Well, I would like just to show you some screenshots about integration with Live3 and so what we propose in this case is a portlet that will permit you to manage all the tasks from a Liferay interface. And the same is for document management, or in this case, a Fresco, you can manage all data from there. To conclude, I would like just to suggest the next steps. And what I would suggest is to try our open source version that can be downloaded from our website, that is bpms.intalio.com. And you will find there some screencasts and basic tutorials. And obviously you can learn from our sample directory that you will find very simple examples. And in case you need, so you would like to share question or experience, you are able to register there and to share experience in our community through our forum. Also above, so besides our starter kit, we offer also some trainings that is where you can complete your evaluation of Intalio in just 2 days, and we'll focus it on how to implement the SOA and about BPMS standards. So we're a very small group of people, and well, you can see our schedule in our website too. Well, this is all I would like to present you. So I would like to say thank you for your time. And in the case you have some questions, please feel free to use the chat or to contact directly Roberto.